Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Proof that seemingly undesirable men have been able to get women. You know, look, because I know that, you know what, you got a whole bunch of people saying, it's over because, they'll say, well, they ugly. Or they'll say, well, they're short or they're fat or broke, right? But there's one piece of proof that there have been men like that who've been able to get women. Now, is this going to say every single one of them? No. But, there's never every single one, but there have been men who've been in those positions. Shoot, sometimes they got all of that stuff. They considered ugly, they're considered short, they're overweight, and they're broke, yet they still get women. And there's one piece of proof that is able to work. One single piece of proof. They got kids. Let me say that again. They got kids, right? Because I'm going to tell you what. People know I be going through the malls and everything. I see many a guy who's not like that, like 6 foot, supposedly model handsome, or even muscular dude who, he dressed like he got some money, right? I've seen plenty of dudes who don't fit in those categories, yet they walking around with not 1 but 2 kids and stuff. Now, they only got those kids through one way. They only got those kids through one way. Right? And please, look, and let's be real, because I know some people, somebody smart say, well, maybe they adopted. There ain't that much adoption on the fucking planet. Now, when that dude got a certain look on his face, like he might have a big old mole on his cheek or something, and the 3 kids with him got the same mole or something, they his kids, I remember I was in a barbershop one time sitting there chilling. There was a dude, he was shorter than me. Right? So, well, much of the population shorter than me, so maybe that's not a good example. But he was about 5'5". They had a big old lopsided head and stuff. You felt bad for him. Looked like some genetic thing or something, right? He had 4 kids in there with the same lopside, right? So some woman had his baby, right? Seriously, and I'm not trying to be funny with it, but you get a lot of guys say, "Oh, it's over for you, you ugly." Well, first of all, let's look at each one of these pieces, right? Let's look at each one of these pieces. First of all, it's only up to the woman to decide if the dude ugly. He might not be ugly to him. And then I know for a fact, I talk to women. In fact, I know for a fact, sometimes they will get that guy who look a certain way, who don't look like aesthetically pleasing to most people. And it's like, because sometimes women don't want, a lot of women don't want a man to look better than them. And plus, a lot of times a woman might get that guy because they feel like they don't have to compete with other women too much with him, right? That's one. But like I said, if they pop out a baby for him, that's the ultimate receipt. That's the ultimate receipt. And shoot, somebody say, well, maybe it's paternity fraud or something. Because, I'm always ready for the arguments. Well, she still had, in order to get away with it, she still had to have had sex with the dude. She still had to have had sex with the dude to even think about getting away with it. So there was something about him she wanted to fuck, right? And then, even then, that thing's subjective any damn way. Because on a real, when men try to say it or they'll look at somebody or something, it's like, you don't have a vagina. You don't know what that woman sees. There's been plenty of dudes who other men would call ugly. Dudes calling them ugly. But the women like, oh, no, he fine. I know of those situations. Even I'll just say there's some content creators that other men would call ugly. And, you talk to the women about him and say, he fine. So that's one. And then the overweight thing, well, it depends. Women like different types of shit. Shoot. Women like different types of things. You don't know. And the height thing, is overblown. For most women, there's only a small percentage of women who specifically say the dude got to be over 6 feet. But those same women who say the same, that they also want a millionaire man, even though they broke themselves or they poor themselves. Most women just want the man just to be taller than them. And even then, I've known some women, they have purposely dealt with guys who were shorter than them. And all of them told me the same thing, right? They were like, hey, they try harder or something. In fact, one of the biggest players I knew, dude about 5'5", he consistently would mess with women 5'10" and above. He said he liked to climb trees, right? And then, of course, people throw that money thing in there, right? But let's be real. Less than 25% of the population, the men in the population, even make over $50,000 a year. So to say if you see some guy and he don't look all appealing and all that, and say, well, it must be his money. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. So you in the hood, you in some like hood or mall or something, or some working class type of mall or neighborhood or something, and you see some guy and all of a sudden he got all this money, right? He getting out of a hoopty or something. He got all this money. But yeah, he not only getting out the hoopty, but he getting his kid out the back seat. Seriously. And see, here's the issue with it. Notice I used in the title, seemingly undesirable. What it really come down to, a man cannot speak to what a particular woman wants. And even what I do, even when I say body game and stuff, I say, what I say? I say, get your best body and then find a woman who likes it. I always say that. Find a woman who likes your particular body type. Because as a women like a lot of stuff. Some women like that slim dude. A man, if he on that slim thing, need to find it. Some women, they ain't tripping. Look. Like a lot of people talking about like men gotta be over 6 feet. Shit. If the woman like 5'1", right? If the woman like 5'1", and the dude is just a little bit taller than her at 5'4", she'll go for it. In fact, I personally know of some dudes who are below 5'5" who got like women who are on them hard. In fact, one of my buddies growing up, he was a teenage father. He wasn't hitting them with money. He dressed plain. Dude's about 5'6". It was a teenage father. You don't know what that particular woman wants. And see, what the thing is, a lot of guys, what they really doing is projecting their own shit. Seriously. And so my thing is use some common sense, because like I always say, the ultimate receipt is a baby. So it had to be something. Because trust me, women, they picky as hell. So if a woman has a baby with a man, there's something about him that she found attractive. Something about him. And you don't know. Like I said, a man can't really do it. And see, my point with all of that is a man has to look at himself and say, you know what, let me just work on what I got. If you ain't some 6 foot, okay, whatever. Just work on what you got. You can still fix yourself up. And as far as your facial features, you don't know what a woman like. You don't know what a particular woman like. I've dealt with a lot of women who say, I'm going to tell you what, even a so-called handsome face, some women, they can be funky with that. They will call me. I've seen many a woman, and many men have even told me this. A woman question their sexuality if they were looking too good. A lot of women like roughness, right? But whatever the case, I don't care what it is. If that dude got babies, somebody wanted them. Somebody want them. I mean, some of these dudes out here be having like 5 or 6 kids on the streets and stuff with some decent women and stuff. They don't got no money. In fact, one game that they might run, especially in some poor areas, what dude might run is get a bunch of women pregnant, then he always got a place to stay. And he definitely don't have money. Shoot. He don't look like he can win a modeling contract. Shoot. So always look at that. Always ask yourself one thing. I'm serious, just one thing. Okay, if this man, despite how he look, is able to get a child, That's the ultimate. That's proof that, well, hold up. Because seriously, if that's serious when a woman has a man's baby, that is serious. Abortion is still legal. So if she just had sex, that's just proof she had sex with this particular man. You can't get past that. All right? Now, is this going to be every single guy? No, not necessarily. But see, here's the thing, too. Here's the thing. Women look at different things. Women, it's not always just physical with a woman. Not always. It's physical plays a part, but it's never just physical. Women are always physical and emotional. So you don't know. Or sometimes, and plus you don't know what that, you don't know the whole situation. You might see some guy, and, he might call him ugly, he might be overweight, short, broke. But then it's like, well, why she with him? Then all of a sudden you see her father, the dude look just like her father. And a woman's first imprint is always her father. It's not a sexual thing. Well, hopefully it's not a sexual thing. But that's the first pattern. She patterns her first look after her father. She looks for a guy like her father first and foremost. And dude might not be all that. And you can't fuck with DNA. So anyway, just pay attention to all of that. Anyway, and I'm serious though, because too many guys, they caught up in some bull instead of having some self-esteem. Just be your best self and just see who likes it. That's all to it. So anyway, I'll get back with you. Peace and blessings.